Hey everyone, Rich Gasaway here. A real quick reminder that the SA Matters show episodes are now, in addition to audio, available as videos. Many of the guests on this show have video and audio clips that they want to share when they're talking about their near-miss events, and that's really hard to do in an audio-only format like a podcast. So all the episodes now, including the one that you're listening or watching currently, are available as audio podcasts and videos. You can listen to the audio-only episodes by subscribing to SA Matters Radio on iTunes, Google Play, or Stitcher Radio. And you can subscribe to the SA Matters TV YouTube channel, whichever you prefer. Before I kick off this episode, I want to take a moment to mention the Supervisor Development Institute program that I created back in 2009. Some of you know that my second passion after situational awareness is developing the leadership skills of supervisors, something I did a terrible job at when I was the boss. I was guilty of promoting supervisors before they were prepared to lead others, and that was my fault. And then I got frustrated when they didn't know how to provide good leadership to their teams, and that was my fault too. So I created the Supervisor Development Institute. This program can be customized to run anywhere from 2 days to 5 days, and no matter the length, there's no PowerPoint. Did you hear that? There's no PowerPoint. Can you imagine a week-long class that doesn't use PowerPoint? How's that even possible? Not only is it possible, but it's a better way to learn the skills of essential good leadership. When adults are engaged in the process of learning and not just being lectured to, learning can be fun. And more importantly, the lessons stick. We share practical, actionable best practices for leadership, problem solving, conflict resolution, teamwork, communications, motivation, accountability, generational leadership, discipline, coaching for performance improvement, and more. So when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired of the frustrations that come from dealing with underprepared supervisors, contact me for a program that will teach your supervisors a better way of leadership and committed followership. But only contact me when you're interested in having your supervisors lead differently. If you want to talk with me about this training, click on the Contact Us tab on the SA Matters homepage, and I'll give you a call. Okay, that's enough of the pre-show stuff. Roll that show intro. Today's episode is sponsored by Midwest Fire. For more than 20 years, Midwest Fire has been manufacturing high-quality tankers, tanker pumpers, and fire rescue vehicles in the United States and Canada. Keeping firefighters safe while enhancing their capabilities is what they do best. To learn more, go to MidwestFire.com.
This is Instructor John Dixon, and you are listening to the SA Matters radio show with Dr. Rich Gasaway. The SA Matters mission is simple. They want to help us see the bad things coming in time to avoid bad outcomes.
Welcome to episode 206 of the Situational Awareness Matters radio show. I'm your host, Rich Gasaway. The purpose of this show is to improve situational awareness and decision-making for individuals and teams who work in high-risk, high-consequence, time-compressed environments with changing conditions. The SA Matters mission is simple: to help you see the bad things coming in time to avoid bad outcomes. I've been sharing the message of situational awareness and high-risk decision-making at live program events now for more than 13 years and have trained over 64,000 students, including first responders, industrial workers, military personnel, business leaders, medical professionals, utility workers, aviation workers, oil refinery operators, and more. This message truly is for anyone who works in high-risk environments. I'm dedicated to improving your safety and your survival, and I'm here to offer you a message of hope and a message of inspiration to help you accomplish the most important goal of all, and that's to go home to the ones who love you. And speaking of sharing the message, today I'm coming to you again from Fort McMurray, Alberta, where I'm in town to deliver situational awareness programs for the oil refinery operators at Syncrude, Canada. The refinery here is huge, and the company has made a commitment to train over 600 operators on the important safety topic of situational awareness. Thank you, Syncrude and ExxonMobil, for your commitment to improving worker safety. One of the questions I get asked a lot by readers of my blog and listeners and viewers of this show are, when are you coming to my area? I want to attend a program. Or, where are you going to be next? Great questions, and I've made the answer really easy to find out. I've created a link on the home page of the website SA Matters that is a blue box on the right side of the home page labeled Live Training Dates. Just click there, and that'll tell you where the upcoming programs are. Today's episode examines how competing goals can impact your situational awareness. All right, let's jump into our feature segment now. Arguably, to accomplish a mission, it would be very beneficial to have a shared set of goals that everyone understands and everyone is working together on in a unified way to accomplish. Shared goals can contribute to shared situational awareness, a common understanding of what is happening and what the plan of action entails. Answering questions like, what is being done and why? What is the strategy and why? What is each person's role? How are these roles interconnected? It is easier to function as a team when the goals are well established and well communicated. But what happens when they're not? Goal setting. The goal setting process can begin long before a high-risk event occurs, or it should anyway. Policies and standard operating procedures or standard operating guidelines establish the overarching objectives to be accomplished. The objectives then contribute to goal setting and task-level assignments. For example, the first person deals with an emergency this way, and then the second person comes in and supports the first person that way. Then the team is trained, and they practice their skills with the ambition of accomplishing the goals using procedures during their training evolutions. These goals, both written and practiced, then guide the actions of team members during a high-risk event. When goals are well established, well practiced, and well communicated, it improves the likelihood that team members will be on the proverbial same page during a high-risk operation. In other words, they have a shared understanding of what is going on and what needs to be done, contributing to a shared situational awareness. The disconnect. But what happens when organizations do not have well-established, well-practiced, and well-communicated goals? Teams may function in automatic lockstep formation, seemingly going through the motions of task completion without conscious thought as to whether the actions are actually advancing a goal, because no goal has been established or communicated. For example, in a fire scene scenario, the first arriving engine crew pulls a attack line to the front door while the first arriving ladder crew goes to the roof for ventilation. To the observer, the incident may seem to be following a plan, and indeed the crews may be following a plan with well-established goals. Or what might be being observed is simply a collection of independent actions that perhaps only by luck are congruent with each other. Competing goals. In the absence of a common goal, it's not uncommon for individuals to set their own goals. This can be done with consideration to others, or it can be done with indifference to others. Competing goals do not always result in bad outcomes, but it can result in a lack of coordination. An uncoordinated plan increases the risk of a bad outcome, if for no other reason than the goals of one team may run counter to the goals of another team. Rarely is there a segmentation of teams in an emergency high-risk situation. For example, in football, there are two segmented teams, the offensive team and the defensive team. Each takes their turn on the field with a well-established goal: score a touchdown for the offense, or prevent the opponent from scoring a touchdown if it's defense. In baseball, team members perform based on two segmented goals as well. When in the field, the goal is to prevent the opponent from scoring. When at bat, the goal is to hit a run and score a run for your team. Some sports, like soccer, require a team to play both offense and defense at the same time. The goal is to score while simultaneously working to prevent the other team from scoring. Most high-risk work is more like soccer teams, as teams try to accomplish simultaneous goals. Priorities. Oftentimes, competing goals are a result of competing priorities. Each team has a role to fulfill toward completing the overall objectives. All the roles are important, but some team members can operate with blinders on and lose sight of the fact that there are other teams performing other roles as well, and the efforts of all team members need to be coordinated. There can be many competing priorities while performing high-risk work. Individual, team, divisional, regional, and overall priorities exist. But it doesn't end with the priorities of the teams. There can also be competing financial, political, community, environmental, and public relations priorities, and probably even more. Each group representing competing priorities have their goals to accomplish and their own priorities. For example, I recently saw in the news where a governor visited the scene of a large wildland fire where there were many agencies involved. The governor's visit, while commendable, adds an element of complexity to an already dangerous emergency operation. Chances are good that when the governor got the opportunity to have a closed-door session with the command team, concerns were expressed, like the cost of the operations, the economic impact to the region, road closures, environmental concerns, public perceptions, and so on. If the command team allows the governor's concerns to shift priorities, this may also impact their goals and the safety of their teams. Goals help to get everyone on the same page and on the same proverbial sheet of music. It's worth the effort to make a plan and to communicate goals to everyone on the team. It could prove disastrous to assume everyone understands the leader's intent. It is much easier to support a goal when you know what it is. It reduces confusion and frustration. Both, by the way, confusion and frustration, are barriers to situational awareness. Last week's episode, number 206, was dedicated to a discussion about how frustration can impact awareness. If there is disagreement on a goal, better to work that out in advance of implementation than in the heat of the moment. Or worse, to wait until after a high-risk situation unfolds in an undesirable way, and then have someone say, "I knew that wasn't going to work." I recently conducted a team building exercise in a leadership class I was facilitating. The team had to solve a problem, and if their plan did not work, it would result in a fictional loss of lives. The teams were given time to design and practice their solution. Then, when the time was right, they got to implement their solution in a real simulated scenario. Prior to the start of the real scenario, I would ask each team member one question. Do you think your plan is going to work? If any member of the team said no, I would ask the team if they wanted to continue with the implementation of their goals or go back to the drawing board. Some went back to the drawing board. Some, however, trudged onward and put their plan into place regardless of that input. The teams that failed to set a goal, locked onto it and ignored the concern of their fellow team member. The lessons of the exercise were not limited to goal setting. There were also valuable takeaways related to team building, problem solving, communications, conflict resolution, leadership, and followership. And oh, by the way, in every single scenario where a team member said they didn't think the plan was going to work, the plan didn't work, resulting in a fictional death of a team member. Remember that goal setting is strengthened when teams work together with awareness of the overarching plan and objectives. Rarely do teams work in a vacuum during a high-risk incident. The performance of one team can set up the success or the failure of other teams. I have a favor to ask of you, the listeners and viewers of this show. The primary reason I created this show is to provide a platform for those who've experienced near-miss events to share their stories. The experiences that have been shared with me on this show have been nothing short of amazing and extremely educational. I'd like to get more of those lessons learned, shared with the listeners and viewers of this show, but I need your help to do so. If you've experienced or witnessed a work-related near-miss event and would like to have a platform to share your lessons learned with others, please contact me by visiting the samatters.com website and clicking on the Contact Us tab on the top of the homepage. Think about it for a moment. The lessons learned from your near-miss event could save someone's life. That's really powerful. And what a wonderful gift that would be. If you want to share your experience, contact me. Okay, I'd like to provide some feedback that I received from somebody who attended a program recently. This came to me by an email. Dr. Gasaway, I would like to thank you for coming to our area and providing attendees with an exceptional program. I've heard nothing but good things from the people who attended the seminar. Several of my own guys have told me that they really got their eyes opened by your program and have a better understanding of why certain decisions are made by the incident commander on a fire ground. Thank you again. Stay safe and stay in touch. Jack Bierman of the Rochester Volunteer Fire Company. Thank you, Jack, for that feedback. I really appreciate it. If you want to send me some feedback, I'd love to hear from you. Just go to the SA Matters website and click on that Contact Us link. That'll send me an email. Okay, as I always do, I'd like to take a moment to thank the companies, organizations, agencies, and departments that have hosted some recent situational awareness training for their teams. I do this to show my appreciation to those who put forth the time and effort to organize, advertise, and fund training for their team on this important topic. Recent tour stops included the Missouri City, Texas Fire Department, the International Association of Fire Chiefs Company Officer Leadership Series in Orlando, the Emergency Services Conference at Pipestem, West Virginia, the Texas Fire Chiefs Association Conference, and where I am now, Syncrude, Canada, in Fort McMurray, Canada, presenting to the oil refinery operators. If you're interested in attending an upcoming Situational Awareness Matters tour stop event, you can join me on April 2 and 3 in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, April 9 to 13, Evansville, Indiana, April 17, Camp Ripley, Minnesota, April 23, Billings, Montana, April 25 to 28, Indianapolis, Indiana, April 30, Sun Valley, Idaho, May 1 through 3, Madison, Georgia, and May 5th, Spruce Grove, Alberta. If you want to see all the locations of the upcoming Situational Awareness Matters tour stop events, head over to the SA Matters website, click on that blue box I mentioned on the right side of the homepage labeled Live Training Dates. Just remember that the programs are always changing, so check back often. If you're interested in hosting a Situational Awareness Matters tour stop program, just stop by the website and click that Contact Us tab. There are already 80-plus programs scheduled for 2018, and there are some programs already scheduled for 2019 as well. Just a heads up, 2018 is filling up much faster than I expected, and I'm running low on available dates. This has caused me to start booking some programs much earlier than I ever have in the past for the next year, for 2019. That means the 2019 inventory of dates is also going to become scarce. This is a great problem to have, knowing that situational awareness topic is so popular, but it also creates a challenge for those hosts who want to book programs on specific dates. The more flexible your dates are, the more likely I will be able to accommodate your request. If you think your department or company or agency might want to host a program and want to save some money, consider hosting a companion program. A companion program is a program on an adjoining day to a program that I'm already doing. So if you look on my schedule and you see I'm within a couple hours of where you are, then just reach out and contact me and we'll set up a companion program, and that can save you as much as 20% off of your program fee. I have some great staff. They'll make the entire process really easy for you, I promise. The last time I was delivering programs in southwest Minnesota, I stopped by and visited the sponsor of this podcast, Midwest Fire. Midwest Fire is a fire truck manufacturing company that makes amazing, all poly-bodied fire apparatus, and it's changing the industry. If you haven't checked them out yet, you need to. Go to MidwestFire.com. That's MidwestFire.com. Anyhow, while I was there, I got a chance to sit down and talk to some of their employees about what separates Midwest Fire from their competitors. Let's listen in on a conversation I had with engineer Tyler LeBrun. So Tyler, in a conversation that we had earlier, you mentioned the term lean process or lean manufacturing. And then when we were out on the shop floor, you were like snapping around these Japanese terms that, I guess in the lean manufacturing world means something. What is all this, voodoo magic of lean manufacturing or lean process? What does it mean, and why would a customer even care that you run a lean facility?
Well, one of the big things with lean is it's very focused on the customer. Basically, you look at it as what the customer is willing to pay for. There's waste in our process. There's waste in everybody's process that they have if they own any type of business. And what waste is defined as is anything the customer is not willing to pay for. We had a good example down there of, maybe you've been in some different shops and seen stuff just scattered around everywhere, like maybe a floor jack, like somebody used it and left it right there. Well, now the next time somebody wants to go find that floor jack, if they've got to walk around for 5 or 10 minutes, that's a waste that the customer's not willing to pay for. They don't want our guys to be down here wandering around looking for parts. They want them to be putting things onto their truck, and that stuff is value added. The walking around and stuff that you're not willing to pay for is non-value added. And that's really what drives down and brings us to be able to offer something better to the customer, that we are building a truck more efficiently, which obviously passes savings on to them. We talked about our inventory control system, Kanban, one of those fun Japanese words, that basically allows for a system to be around our parts ordering that the operators control that they go down, they reach a minimum point, they pull a card, they do that kind of stuff, but the parts are always there for them. Not only are the parts always there, but there's not an excess amount of those parts, which costs us money to carry, which we would then obviously, no doubt, have to pass on to the customer. But by reducing all these costs, getting rid of all the waste, we're really able to better give the customer a more quality truck, faster and possibly at less cost than a competitor.
So everybody here, I assume, has to go through some training to learn how to be part of a lean process manufacturing?
Yep. So there's a couple of different ways that we've done that. There's been some guys that have been able to go out and do actual hands-on training at some seminars or that kind of stuff. We've also gone out and taken tours of some real-world CalAS facilities in the area that we've been lucky enough to have. We also do some mentorship. That's something that I've been able to take my experience and kind of help the guys look at all that kind of stuff. But it really boils down to having a team that's willing to work together and continuously improve. And that continuous improvement is the big thing, is that we don't have a set goal in mind that we are going to be at X in 2016 and then we're never going to do anything again. Lean is really about continuous improvement and realizing that you're constantly in the pursuit of perfection. If you're not improving, you're on the decline. So that's really some of the ideas behind that, the continuous improvement, and obviously training the employees.
Well, there you have it, folks. Continuous self-improvement and lean manufacturing. It's what separates Midwest Fire from their competitors. Check them out at MidwestFire.com. Thank you to Midwest Fire President Sarah Atchison and all your amazing staff for your awesome commitment to improving the safety of first responders. I really appreciate your support of my mission. If you're not a member of the SA Matters community of learners, you might want to consider getting involved. There are over 50,000 people connected with me through our newsletter, our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, our Twitter feed, and LinkedIn, sharing ideas about how to improve situational awareness, how to make better decisions under stress, how to improve the skills of critical thinking and resilient problem solving. Let's start with the newsletter. It's completely free. The newsletter will come to you via an email once a month. It contains featured content from both the SA Matters blog and the SA Matters show. And occasionally I offer special discounts on books and videos exclusively for the newsletter subscribers. The newsletter is truly the best way for us to stay in touch with each other. There are two ways you can subscribe to the newsletter. The first, and probably the easiest, is on your smartphone. Just text SA Matters to 22828. That's the letter S as in Sam, the letter A as in Adam, and the word matters all together, SA Matters to 22828. Be sure to watch your spell checker because it might try to change the word SA Matters to something else. If you do it right, you'll get a text message back asking you to enter your email address. Once you've done that, you're signed up for the newsletter. Now, I know some of you don't have smartphones, or you can't do the texting thing, or don't like to do the texting thing. In that case, you can just swing by the SA Matters website and click on the red box on the right side of the homepage labeled Free Membership. If you want to get connected with me on Twitter, just follow @RichGasaway. If you want to get connected with me on LinkedIn, just search for Rich Gasaway on LinkedIn. If you want to watch the SA Matters videos, including this show, you can subscribe to the SA Matters TV channel on YouTube. That's SA Matters TV, all one word, on YouTube. If you want to get connected with me on Facebook, then you can like the SA Matters page on Facebook. Okay, finally, the SA Matters show and the SA Matters TV YouTube channel have enjoyed over 700,000 downloads and views. This show is the longest running, fastest growing, safety focused show on the internet. If you know a company that might want to advertise their product or service on this show, have them contact me through the SA Matters website. Well, that's it. Episode 206 is complete. Thank you to our awesome sponsor, Midwest Fire. Thank you to all the companies and agencies and organizations that have hosted live classroom events. Thank you to the organizations that have hosted live, virtual, over the internet training events. Thank you to the more than 1,500 students and graduates of the SA Matters Online Academy. And most importantly, thank you, the audience of this show, for sharing some of your valuable time with me today. I really appreciate your support of the SA Matters mission. Be safe out there, and may the peace of the Lord and strong situational awareness be with you always.
You've been listening to the Situational Awareness Matters radio show with Dr. Richard B. Gasaway. If you are interested in learning more about situational awareness, human factors, and decision-making under stress, visit samatters.com. If you are interested in booking Dr. Gasaway for an upcoming event, visit his personal website at richgasaway.com.